Broke a fan. Alright guys, so if you've been following what's been going on here at Weems Motor Co., you will know that we are an invited builder for Born Free 13. Now, I only have about 6 months left to finish up this build, and a very, very important part of that build is that rusty old motor that came out of the bike that I nicknamed Rusty. If you haven't saw that video, man, go check it out. Pulled that bike out of a barn, and it was rough. It took a hammer to beat that thing apart. Let's hope today when we're breaking down that motor that it doesn't take as much effort as it did to get that frame broken down. I don't know, it's pretty tough. It's the worst motor that I've ever seen, so we're gonna have to break it down, make it pretty so that we could get that as the power plant for the Born Free build. Stick around. Alright, so here she is in all of her glory. I believe this motor to be around a 1957 Triumph. The serial numbers that are stamped on the side are not that great. Matter of fact, they're not accurate. But there are some telltale signs of this motor being around a 1956, 1957. I won't know for sure until I get this thing broken down and I can look at some cast markings and different things like that. But yeah, man, when I say rusty, that is an understatement. So I have several gearboxes laying around, and I'm not gonna put in the effort that it's gonna need to get this gearbox all fixed up. So the first part of it, let's just get that off of there and start breaking into this thing, crack the egg, see what kind of yolk is inside. Hopefully it's good. Fingers crossed. Stick around. Alright, so something I always like to have around when I'm tearing down a motor is some sort of container, pan, or something to throw all those little bitty screws, bits and pieces and parts into. And at the end we could just kind of throw them in some Ziploc bags and label them for what motor it came out of. It's always a good idea to keep all of that matching stuff together. It's probably not going to be that difficult on this one, being all of it is rusted. And just to add, this is not really going to be a how-to video on how to break this down. It's more or less going to be like, hey guys, watch me struggle as I take apart this motor that's been rusted together probably for a good 50 years. I brought out every form of vice grip I own, got the heat out, because a majority of these screws and bolts are rusted off. So it's going to be a little bit more of a struggle to get these, but we're going to keep our fingers crossed. That motor has to come apart. We have to put that into our Born Free build, so we're going to do what it takes. Now that's rusty. Alright, we got 4 cylinder base nuts off, and let's just say it's halfway done. Normally you would remove the head, all of the top end stuff, but I'm not keeping any of that stuff. Maybe I'll use it for a mock-up, but it's pretty much crap. So the plan is to release the cylinder base nuts and hopefully pull the whole top end away from the bottom end. It's not the way you do it, but it can be done. So that's what I'm trying to do. You guys are going to find out in a minute whether I can do it or not. Alright, so not so catastrophic. We had 2 come off with wrenches, 2 that completely broke off, and then 4 that had to be chiseled off. So they're all loose. Let's see if we can get this top end away from the bottom end. Alright, now that I got this thing turned around, get a little bit better access to that head bolt. I'm going to see if I can go ahead and get it loose. Maybe we can get the head off first, and then try the bottom end. We'll see. I got it! Oh, that's bad. Alright, once again guys, I don't think I can reiterate how rusty this thing actually is. Oh my god, was it at the bottom of the ocean? So much work to do, but on a positive note, at least those pistons are all the way at the base of the cylinder. May make it a little bit easier to get that jug off. Let's see what happens. Just noticed there was no push rods in that motor. That's weird. Locked up tight. Those things aren't budging. Alright, so the idea here is to get the cylinder off. I don't care how much I damage that cylinder. It's ruined. It's crap. I'll probably break a fin or 5. The whole point is to try to not damage at all the bottom end of the motor. I don't care about the crankshaft, I don't care about the cams, I care about the cases, because that's the one thing we're keeping for the Born Free build. So let's break out the hammers. Like I always say, safety first. We're going to be slinging some hammers, and I'm sure there's going to be metal flying, so make sure we protect your eyes. Broke a fan. Broke another fan. Broke another fan. Breaking all kinds of fins. Alright, so at this point there's no fins left on this side of the head. I'm going to spray some penetrating oil in there. Maybe I could get that piston broke loose a little bit. Let it sit for a couple hours and then come back and tackle it again.
Hours later.
Alright, so it's been, I don't know, a couple hours. I went and got some lunch. In the meantime, pulled off the magneto. Came off actually pretty easily. Got the penetrating oil been sitting inside the cylinder. It's still collecting on top of the piston, so it hasn't really seeped through. We're just going to keep beating on this thing, see if we can get it off. Try to save that bottom end. Pretty sure I will be able to. But yeah, look inside. Nasty! Sometimes it takes a bigger hammer. The 3-pound sledgehammer, that is. Man, that thing ain't budging. Plan 427. Remove the cylinder base studs to see if it'll give me some wiggle room. Doubt if it'll work. We'll try. Still no progress. We're gonna go a little bit more invasive. Alright, after much trepidation, a 3-pound sledgehammer, a chisel, a drill, and a lot of intestinal fortitude is like what they said in the military. We have a loose cylinder. Let's take it off. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is a job well done. Well, maybe not well done, but a job done. So, hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, jump down and hit that subscribe button. If you liked the video, hit that thumbs up. Turn those notifications on and let everyone know what's going on right here at Weems Motor Co. Peace.